Hey, it's Diener coming to you live, Sea to Sky Adventure Motorcycle Group. Today we're going to talk about the KTM 890 and the beautiful Africa Twin. And I've got a lot to talk about, and there's so many good things about both these bikes.
Whoa, Din, this is not TikTok, huh? This is... Hi guys, this is Greg with North 49 ADV. I'm here with Dean, the president of Sea to Sky ADV on Facebook, and we're gonna do a review of a comparison, a match, maybe something between the fabulous KTM 890 and the legendary Africa Twin. All right, so we're gonna go through other things that are like the main interest of people, like the weight, how does it handle, is it heavy to pick up, is it good on the highway, does it make popcorns, I don't know. We'll decide with Dean. Okay, all right. You brought this beautiful 890. It is gorgeous, and I really dig, you know, the look and the aggressiveness of it. So tell us, you're famous on TikTok, you're famous on Facebook.
Well, I don't know if I'm famous, Greg, but I do appreciate being here with you today, and it's great to ride with you as always. So we're here to talk about the 890. So I bought this 890 in July last summer and upgraded from a CRF 250. I did a fair amount of research on this bike, but I was comparing and contrasting between a T7 and an 890. I ended up with the 890 because most of my friends were on KTMs, and they gave me a lot of inside information about the maintenance and the durability, and alleviated some of the concerns that some people have with KTMs. So I got the bike. I love it. It's about 465 pounds wet. It's got 105 horsepower. I really like the look of it. I've done a fair amount of upgrades on it too, Greg. I've customized it like all of us do on our bikes, and I'm really happy so far. A lot of farkles.
Good farkles, good farkles. Yeah, so yeah, you mentioned the horsepower, the weight, which is a good ratio. If we look at this guy, I'm just around the 500 pounds, 498 according to the internet.
Yeah.
And I get 101 horsepower, very important. The last 1 horsepower is very important. I'm really attached to it. So yeah, so this guy's power weight ratio better, and this guy a little bit on the reverse side. Okay,
but you know what's interesting, Greg? I ride with a lot of guys like you on the Africa Twins, and I've ridden in a couple Africa Twins, and I'm so impressed with the steadiness and the smoothness of the power and the acceleration. My bike is a bit angry. Some of my friends have said when you get on an 890, it's like being angry, and you got to rev it. You got to you really got to get onto the KTM. So I think that's one of the differences that I've noticed between the two.
All right. For my level of riding, I'm like intermediate. You're probably intermediate plus, because yeah, I saw you ride. So you're faster and I'm slow. We're always slow. Everybody knows I'm slow. I like to smell the roses.
I like to run the roses over, Greg. They get in my way and they bother me. KTM owners, we don't like roses, just for the record.
So it makes sense for us. We're, you know, I was on a KLR before. It was very low power, medium to low power,
nice
whatever. It is a nice bike.
Yeah.
It was a good bike. But yeah, coming from there, getting on this thing a little bit more powerful, it is fantastic. So, but, where the KLR was going, the Africa Twin can go, no problem. But I feel like the 30-something pounds extra, I can really feel them, right? So
does it feel an advantage to you or a disadvantage, that 30 pounds in weight? Because I think that's an important thing to discuss.
It depends on the terrain of the situation. So yeah, we did a trip recently, and I was fine on dirt road and everything. As soon as it got a little bit more ruts and everything, I felt with my level, and again, this is just me, I was like, I felt I was fighting the bike a little bit more instead of playing with it. So I will take a training or whatever. I try to get better,
but I think that's an important point, Greg, is that the experience level that you have, all of us have different experience levels, and the weight of the bike and the power of bike, I think those, and plus your skill, those are important characteristics to take into account when picking a bike. right?
Yeah.
And I ride with a couple guys on the Africa Twins, and they're demons. Like they're insane on these things. So I think that if you've got a high level of skill, I think the weight of the bike may be less important.
Exactly.
But to normal guys like us,
Yeah.
it actually is important.
Yeah,
Right?
you start feeling it every 5-10 pounds more. Okay. In terms of comfort and everything, I know we just measured. You have a lower seat. You mentioned that.
Yeah.
And you have 35 inches of seat height, which is 89 centimeters.
Yeah.
And I got on the highest setting, I got 34 3/4 of an inch, so it's 88 centimeters, 0.5. All right, so relatively the same bike.
But that height is important because a lot of people, like, I don't know how tall you are. I'm 5 foot, just under 5'10". I've got a 31-inch inseam, and when I first bought the 890, I was concerned about that seat height.
Yeah.
And the stock or the OEM seat was just a little bit too high for me. And the first couple rides, I fell a couple times because I couldn't get that leg down. Going to a lower seat, which I think lowered it by maybe an inch, and that's an estimate, made all the difference to me.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of guys ask about the seat height and how can you handle that big heavy bike when you can only get one leg down. So it is an important factor.
Yeah, it does help with the confidence when you're off-road, and it's like you have the possibility of like putting your foot down without toppling over or whatever, or falling, or the bike taking you down, because these bikes, whatever they're weighing, when they go down, they just go down. There's nothing
they have a mind of their own, for sure.
You have to let go, jump and get off the way, roll, whatever you want to do, but you have to let her do what she wants to do, right?
Yeah, when she wants to nap, you gotta jump off it.
All right, okay. So yeah, let's talk about fuel economy. It's very important right now.
Price of fuel. What do you run in your bike? What level? What grade?
If I could put 94, I will put like the highest octane possible. I used to do that with the old bike. Same thing. It seems like it keeps the bike happy, right?
Yeah. Me too.
And the tank is 19 liters, so at the end of the day, it's not so much of a big deal. You're not gonna feel the pinch like you're putting, gas in your truck or whatever. So I try to give this the most. Yeah,
I'm 94
gas,
as well. Yeah.
The better gas. So on my end, with the Africa Twin, I get 19 liters of tank, and I get roughly 380 k of it. Yeah. Right. I'm still trying to run it as far as I can and that's why I carry fuel with me.
Yeah.
So it's roughly around 5-ish liter per 100. You on your end, you said.
Yeah. So I just did a test for economy last week on the highway, being very steady, cruise control, 110, 120 kilometers per hour. I was getting 4.3 liters per 100, which I thought was pretty good. And I think that's about 63 imperial miles to the gallon, I think. Don't quote me on that, but it's definitely good. And by the way, I've taken the catalytic converter off, and I've done some emission improvements on this bike, and but I've actually not seen any degradation in the fuel consumption. So that is a good thing. I think my tank is 20 liters. Yeah, 20 liters. So I don't ever worry about gas, because most of the rides that we do up here in BC are around 250. They're less than 300 kilometers between gas stations. So I'm never, to be honest, never looking at my gas. I know on the guys on the Teneres, they have a little bit less range. Sometimes they're worried about getting into a gas station around 300 kilometers.
Not that much. Just talking quick about the Tenere, because we did a test with Caroline has a Tenere. Everybody knows Caroline has a Tenere. She managed to get basically almost 400k, almost 400k, like 388 kilometers.
That's good.
To dry, right? Not from on the reserve, like almost 100k on the reserve, 4 liters. So she almost got 400k out of it, 388 or 390 something. So it's.
But what were you riding on? Were you riding on highway or were you off road?
Both. It was a mix of everything, right? So a mixed use. I'm sure on the highway she could do better. But yeah, I mean, for this bike, like this, and the fuel economy you have, I think it's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, I'm pleased with it. One of the design issues, Greg, though, too, a lot of people may know, but this is the tank right here. And the design of the 790 was to change having all of the weight of the gasoline stored up high. They moved the majority of the capacity of the fuel tanks down low. One of the weird things about the KTM, though, is that when you fill it up, it stays full, the gas gauge stays full until you get below half. And then only when you get below half does it start to register that you're going down. So
on this bike,
yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I think it only has a fuel sensor on one side of the tank, and I don't know how that works. I probably should, but I don't really care. But understanding that is key.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know. That was awesome. We went around a little bit the neighborhood here, and we switched bikes. Got onto the angry 890.
We call it angry, really angry. It's angry.
It's a little bit angry, but angry good.
Yeah.
It does feel way different. It's a big jump from the Africa Twin in terms of ergonomics. I was saying in terms of ergonomics and body positions and power delivery. This feels more tamed. The Africa Twin feels more tamed, even though the power is still there, which I like, because you know me, guys. I like to go slow, and yeah, and in the 890 is definitely something else. I see why people like it. It makes sense for adventures and taking you like crazy places.
Yeah.
What did you think about this this girl?
So I've ridden the Africa Twin a few times before. Actually, the last one I rode was a DCT. So I prefer an actual regular system, transmission system. I thought your bike was so smooth and so comfortable. The ergonomics, everything on this bike I think is dead sexy. I think Honda's done a tremendous job on this bike. It's world class. This bike is proven, and there's nothing. It's just absolutely, it's a class-making bike. Going up and down the neighborhood and getting a little bit of gravel and spinning the tires, it felt good. It felt smooth. I know there's a lot of power there. I could hear the engine, but it wasn't barking at me. It was a pleasant
rumble.
It was like a gentleman's bike, right? And I know exactly what you mean about the angriness of a KTM, because I was mentioning as we were getting ready to swap, you got to crack it a lot. It's almost like a two-stroke a little bit, where you're revving, you're accelerating the motor, you're getting a lot more oomph out of it.
Yeah.
And I think that it's a driving style thing as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right on the thing.
Maybe it's a personality.
It's a personality thing, right? Like I said, I'm more enjoying the flowers and everything. So I think it will make sense for me, the power delivery, and you're more like a aggressive technical terrain with people going fast, which is true. There's nothing wrong about that. You have the group that your group of friends, you like to go fast on rides, which is super cool. So that fits your personality. That fits my personality. So at the end of the day, this is what it is, guys. The same way you do your research, you make sure it's working for you. If you have the chance to try the bike before that, you have a friend that's okay with you letting you a bike that you're thinking about, that's fantastic, right? So, but yeah, it would be nice to try it, because it's like everything. You want to see if you're going to be comfortable later on it. You're going to be happy with it, because it has to match your personality and what you're hoping to do. Okay,
I think that's key, Greg, the personality. I never really thought about it, but I think that's really, it's trying to figure out not what you want to be in a rider, but who you really are. And I think some people buy the wrong bike for the wrong reason. They put themselves into a category where they want to be this or that. But I think taking the time to understand really how you ride and how you're going to ride and who you're going to be riding with, I think is an important part of the bike you should buy.
Exactly. So thank you guys for watching us today, taking the time. You can find Dean, tell us where we can find you.
You
on
can
TikTok.
find me almost anywhere, but where you'll probably appreciate me the most is on TikTok, and it's Sea to Sky ADV. And you know, hope you can join us. And thanks very much for having me out today. It was fantastic.
Right. So thanks guys, remember, have fun, be safe out there, and do not subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to his stuff, don't subscribe to mine.
I'm already subscribed to yours.
I
It's
know!
fantastic. Yeah.
All right, take care guys.